disconnected. Hold on. It'll come back on in a second.
If, if
Robbie said I'm still on the air.
if
It was just Brian. Of course, Brian.
you can't say balls on the radio, Brian.
He can.
Okay, well. Hi, Robbie, by the way.
There it is. We're back on. There. So she said we're still on. So
all right. Good.
Now, I think it was just Brian. He can say that on there, but on this show.
Oh, okay.
Just well, on internet radio you can say that. Now it says this live video is ended. You can watch it again shortly. Wait a minute. Let me see.
Hey, Robbie.
No, it's still on. No, he said I'm back. Good Southern style and viewpoints. Be blessed. I am in Alabama. Well, hello, Richard in Alabama.
Hello, Richard.
Nice to meet you.
If you have any topics that you'd like to add, feel free to give us a buzz. I mean, we welcome all viewpoints and opinions. We're all inclusive.
She said, yes, y'all are on. Okay, good. I'm on. It just kicked us off Facebook for a minute, and then we're back on. So, okay.
All right.
Jason just sent a message saying that he just tuned in again, and it kicked us off. They must be having some issues with Facebook or something.
Well, it is Mercury Retrograde.
Probably 90% of the people listening don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. Well, you have Google at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Say it again so they'll know.
Mercury Retrograde controls communication, travel, things like that.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't even know if it's still retrograde or not.
I don't know.
Going to get somebody in the comments going, no, it's not.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I'll look it up right now.
Okay. It's funny. We were talking the other day, and I just got this new app on my phone called Coinbase, where you can.
Yeah, it just ended.
Just ended?
Yeah.
Mine's still on.
No, Mercury Retrograde.
Oh, just ended.
February 3rd, yeah.
Brian said, y'all come finish my website. I'm tired of working on it. No, I'm out. I'm not a computer guy at all. I can turn it on and I can look something up, but that's as far as it goes.
I'll come and tinker with your website.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I will.
Yeah, he needs to get my hats and T-shirts designed.
Well, he's busy working on a website, Jeff.
Well, you do you, boo. If that makes any sense.
Well, why don't you design them and send him the design? Isn't it just his job to make them, or does he design them too?
No, he designs too. I can probably do that.
Yeah.
I can use my.
All you need is a high definition image of what you want.
Well, he said he's added over 5,000 items in the last 3 days.
To your website?
Yes.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. I would like to see the website. 5,000 items is a lot of items. I'm not going to look at every one of them, but still like to look.
Right.
I got some stuff I need made.
Oh, yeah, for your blue diver?
Yeah. I'm going to cover the ambulance with stuff.
You going to paint it?
Yeah, black.
Are you really?
Paint the box black.
Right. What about the cab?
Leave the cab white.
White?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'm going to put a big dive flag on the box above the cab.
I'll give you a shout out, Brian. Brian Zimmerman, www.awards-in-more.com. I'm
going to write that down right now.
Yes.
You should too. If you're listening out there and you need something done, write that down. www.awards, and that's in, no space, no dot, no dash.
No.
Awards and more.
Got a dash.
Where's the dash, Jeff?
Awards-in-more.
So 2 dashes. Got it. Okay. More.com. Got it. Okay. Awards-in-more.com.
Yes. And he makes everything. He makes trophies, awards, plaques, T-shirts, hats, cars, builds hot rods, builds RC cars. He's actually looking for a couple acres where he can build a RC car dirt track.
I want to find a couple 100 acres where I can build an off-road park.
That'd be kind of cool.
Wouldn't it? You don't have to do anything except pull people out of the mud every now and then. People pay $20 a head to go dig holes with their Jeep.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to do anything.
No, that's fine.
Buy a floodplain at below market value that literally has no value because you can't do anything to it.
And now there's like 1 million people that I know. He does laser engraving, plasma cutting, CNC router, 3D engraving, and much more.
Fantastic.
Hats, T-shirts, jackets, and do you do embroidery too? I don't remember. I just know a lot of it's engraving.
Well, Brian, I have a 2002 Ford F-350 box ambulance that I need covered with all kinds of wonderful decals for my own personal business. And I would be happy to bring it down there and let you take a look at it and see if we can make a deal. Shake
And
hands.
yes, he does do embroidery too.
Fantastic. I don't need the ambulance embroidered at all.
No. Jeez. I wouldn't think so. I'd hate to try to get it in there and up underneath that needle.
I just can't wrap my thread around it.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
I'll stop.
It's fine, hell. Okay, where were we going? Oh, you were talking about what were you going and dive? I know you said a pistol tomorrow. What else?
They're rebuilding the docks over at West Bay Marina. If you haven't been there, you should go. Wonderful place, wonderful staff.
Is that where we went and picked out the wallet?
Nope, that was Lakeview Marina.
Lakeview. I get them all mixed up all the time.
It's easy to do.
Yes.
The wallet and the vehicle happened at the same place. I have to be careful what I say.
Yes. Yes.
West Bay Marina is on the west side of the lake, whereas Lakeview is directly across the lake on the east side.
Yes. Okay.
It's a handgun. The gentleman was fishing down on a dock where they got the holes cut in the floor for crappie fish.
Right.
So there's probably all kinds of structure and trees and fishing poles and all manner of other stuff that they've thrown in there to create artificial habitat for fish. So it'll be an interesting dive to film. Interesting dive to put on my Facebook page. If you haven't been there yet, you should go. Facebook.com/BlueDiverDown, Blue Diver Search and Recovery. Your one-stop call for all your lost item needs. I film my dives so that my friends and my followers can go check them out and see what I do for a living. A lot of people take a lot of interest in it. I never thought they would.
Oh, yeah. And anytime you mention scuba, their ears perk up.
Oh, yeah. It's like having a superpower. You can breathe underwater? What?
Yeah. And what's funny, I might have mentioned it on the air, but a couple of months ago, Robbie, my girlfriend, she can't swim very well, but we took her diving.
It's a good thing you don't need to know how to swim if you want to go scuba diving. There's no swimming involved. The gear does all the work for you.
Oh, I know it. I think her biggest deal was putting her face, like Tammy, Jason's wife, when she first got in the water, I think it was getting your face in the water
underwater
without holding your nose.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them
breath at all.
Yes. And being able to breathe through your regulator, I think it's really weird for a lot of people. And with some people, it actually is kind of claustrophobic.
Yeah, I've never understood that when people say, no, I couldn't do that.
Well, it's like being seasick. I don't understand it. I've never been seasick, but I see people when we go out deep sea fishing.
4-hour trips out, 4-hour trip back.
And it's horrible.
Boat. Oh, I love that part.
And but I don't understand it because that means they literally turn gray.
Yeah. I'm up passing out cups of water the whole time. Cups of water,
crackers,
paper towels, crackers. Yeah.
And then as soon as their feet touch the dock,
everything's good.
They're good. But as long as they're on that boat, it's horrible.
If that happens at night, word to the wise, stare at the moon. It will right your vertigo. It's kind of hard to do that during the day without going blind.
Oh, yeah.
It's highly frowned upon to stare at the sun.
Robbie said, yes, that was the worst part, telling my mind I could breathe underwater. Yes, and that's an issue for a lot of people.
How did we handle that? Do you remember?
For a while we stayed in the shallow.
We kept her in the shallow. Said,
and
look,
just sit down.
keep your regulator in,
Mhm.
keep your mask on, and just put your face in.
Put your face in,
And once you could square that away,
Mhm.
everything else was gravy.
Right, and then everything was good.
Yeah. Got video of her at 15 feet.
Yes,
She had a blast.
it was awesome. Well, she had a death grip on me.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Got that on camera too.
That was it was quite exhilarating. She was a natural once she got used to it.
Yeah.
It was fine.
The time I went to Wheeler Branch, just prior to when I went there with you, was with
Mhm.
my Uncle David.
Mhm.
And I remember we were out in the middle and we were at the bottom. We were somewhere around 30 feet. And my Uncle David was having problems with his mask. So we'd go back up to the surface. Man, my mask is leaking. It just won't stop leaking. And I had just happened to find another Scuba Pro mask on the bottom of the lake, stuffed it in my pocket.
Mhm.
And I go, here, try this one. He goes, where did you get that? I said, I just found it. He said, you just found it? Yeah. He took off his Scuba Pro mask and put on this Scuba Pro mask. No more problem.
Right.
Just a wild thing that happened in the middle of the lake. Just crazy.
Oh, I know it. The platforms at Wheeler Branch. It's been a while since I've been out there because the last couple of times that we've been out there is mainly for training.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't go, but to that platform, the dive platform where everybody jumps off and plays.
Right.
But how deep is the platform? They're
15 feet.
They're 15 feet
When you say the platform,
underwater platform.
Okay. The only one I've used at Wheeler Branch is the bus.
Oh, okay. There's two platforms. It's similar to. Have you been to the Scuba Ranch in
Yes, I have.
Tyler?
Yes.
And they have the underwater platforms with the rails.
Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay. At Wheeler Branch, the only one I've ever used was the bus, and that's 25 feet at the top of the bus, and down to like 32 feet if you go through the bus.
Yes, and it starts getting chilly down there.
Very much so. Yes. The top of that bus was where I took my mask off underwater for the very first time.
Yeah, we hadn't got there with Robbie, but we did get there with Tammy. She finally did it.
Yep.
And I don't think I've seen a person more proud. It took a while.
Yeah.
But it's the concept. Wait a minute, I'm not taking it because I just got my head underwater without holding my nose. Now you want me to take the mask off.
That was a fantastic day to witness other people learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Right.
I love watching that. When everything clicks, when all those gears fall into place and the idea begins to work. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Me too. It's cool. Okay, just making sure we're still streaming because it's still here.
JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. To listen, go to tuneinjoco.com and download the free app. All of our shows can also be found on any one of your favorite podcast platforms such as Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and Spreaker. Check out our lineup and more on jococommunityradio.com. Thanks for tuning in. This episode and more brought to you by Patriots Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, Nana Reed, at 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-839-4245.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Had to pay a bill. Oh. Now, that's one thing we need to do is take Jason. Jason has yet to go on a recreational dive.
So have I.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
You've been a working diver since you got certified?
Pretty much. There have been a few, one or two, maybe three dives at like Wheeler Branch or Scuba Ranch. Only 2 or 3 where I had gone with other people when they got their certification. But other than that, no. I've never done a recreational dive. Huh. I've never gone underwater for fun.
Oh. Yeah, because with Jason, he got certified, and within a couple of weeks, we threw him to the wolves. He had a metal detector, and he was in the ocean searching for treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me all the time, he's like, man, one day I would sure love to go in the water for fun and just look around at some stuff, look at fish, and we can make that happen.
Jason, I have an extra dry suit. You're welcome to meet me at West Bay tomorrow.
Yeah, he's not gonna do
You're
it.
welcome to come out there and, take a flashlight and look around.
Mm-mm. I don't. I don't think Blackwater's his thing,
It's not anybody else's thing.
but it's still. When I dove that day and I went after them keys and that other stuff, it's still Jason. But hell no.
If you change your
Uh-uh.
mind, you know my number.
Right.
I'd be happy to have you. I'd dive with you anytime, sir.
Yes. And I think when I took you in the water when we was treasure diving in Florida,
Mm.
the first time, and the reaction, just the glow that you had when you got in the ocean, and you could see everything and all the fish,
Oh man,
and you could see for forever.
there was. I'll tell you an interesting
He
anecdote
said it's too
about
dang
that
cold.
day. I put every weight I owned in my buoyancy controller, and it was not enough. I
Yes.
took every weight I had with me to Florida, and it was not enough. I was wearing a 3 mil wetsuit and salt water,
Mhm,
and I think I was carrying 25 pounds, and it
mhm.
wasn't enough. I'd never experienced that. 25 pounds when you're blackwater diving, it takes you directly to the spot where what you think went down went down. You
Yes.
don't waver, you don't move, you go straight down.
Right.
Florida, nah, not even close.
Right.
I had to push off the bottom of the boat to get down there, the blower.
Oh yeah, Jason
And
did
then
too.
once I finally got down there, the glow that you witnessed was just my brain having to process the fact that I'm not only breathing underwater using my new acquired superpower, but
Mhm.
I can see what I'm doing. Wow. That alone was mind blowing.
See, Jason had the exact. He just put this. Now you know my problem. We could not get enough weight. I mean, we had almost. We put everything on his weight belt, but the boat itself.
And he couldn't get down either.
I finally showed him because you've got that probably 6 foot uh, plane that you
Mhm.
got to get down,
Yeah.
and you know me in freshwater, I don't use any weight at all.
I don't have to with a back plate.
No, but even with my
Right.
regular, I don't use any weight. In the ocean, when I'm treasure diving, I use 20 pounds.
God. So 20 pounds above what I would normally typically use is what it would
No,
generally
I
take.
do that to because if I'm recreational diving,
Mhm.
then I'll use 12 pounds.
What's that?
I'm just saying, if I'm doing it for fun, I'll use 12 pounds. But
Oh.
when I'm treasure diving, because I got to get down there fast,
Yeah.
because you're limited on time in
Right.
each hole, and you want to move as much sand as possible,
Mhm.
as much reef. So I do put 20 to 24 pounds on, because as soon as I hit that water, I'm going straight down. Now,
Right.
Jason, and when he went backwards the first time, he did a complete flip in the water and bounced his head off the bottom of the boat. And it was, I don't know, it wasn't the first time.
Do you know why divers fall backwards off the boat like that?
I do.
Why?
Because if they fell forward, they land in the boat.
That's right. First time you've ever known my joke.
I knew it was coming.
All right.
But I can't really pick on Jason because I've done it a million times.
Mhm.
When I fall back too hard.
You kick your legs over.
Yes.
You wind up doing a somersault
And
instead of just
falling back.
backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when that big current came in that day and we were all stuck out there,
Mhm.
and Jason just going to town with that metal detector, have no clue that we're 40 yards away from when we went down. And he sees an anchor and he's like,
It's ours.
that's our anchor. And I seen the rope and I was like,
Should have grabbed it.
we're at the skiff.
Yeah.
We're not where we were supposed to be.
Losing.
And then that's when Jason, because the metal detector was going crazy around that anchor, that's when Jason put it up, and I said, we got to go up. We couldn't see nothing.
Losing your spatial awareness underwater is a wild, wild thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything pretty much looks the same. You have no landmarks.
No.
And when you're moving, cruising along the bottom like that and don't know it, you're going to come up. You'll be 300 yards from your boat.
Right.
I mean, that's a long surface swim.
Exactly.
I hope you're not short on air.
Right.
Because you're going to need to blow up when you get up there.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not paying attention, boy, it can cause trouble real quick.
That's why ocean diving is so much different
and sketchy.
You can see your gauges.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have to have a high dollar mask like what you got so you can see your air. And you can actually see what direction you're going.
Right.
I love that mask.
Heads up compass is awesome, man. I love it.
Mine?
I'm waiting on getting a mount for the full face before I can use a full face during wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
But that's coming soon.
Right. With mine,
you're just there.
I'm just there.
You're underwater.
And people don't really understand losing your sense of direction.
Right. Spatial awareness isn't something people have a grasp of.
When you go down in the water, you literally have no sense of which way you're facing in the black water.
Mm-hmm.
Now, ocean diving, totally different. You know which way you're facing. But also, a lot of times, you don't know if you're like this. You know if you're upside down, but...
Well, this is all you have.
Right.
This feeling is all you have. Mm-hmm. And when people say, man, how do you find stuff underwater like that? I tell them,
Braille.
It's just like reading Braille with your entire body.
Mm-hmm.
I've found phones with my fins.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild. It's a crazy thing to experience.
And what I do is I make sure when I'm diving for doing a recovery, I make sure I have enough weight and I get on the bottom. Mm-hmm. Very first thing I do, because I make sure, okay, where did it fall? Exactly. Put the weight on. I'll go straight to the bottom, lay on my stomach, and then I'll move my hands.
And then you push off, kick once.
There you go.
Do it again.
Exactly. Y'all hang out with us. We got one more segment, and we'll be done.
This is a long one, right?
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-803-2142. 800-803-2142. 800-803-2142. That's 800-803-2142.
I would like to personally invite you out to the Blue Family Fund Casino Night, an evening of all your favorite casino games, next level auction items, great music, and an open bar. February 26th, 7 p.m. at the beautiful TX Whiskey Ranch in Fort Worth, Texas. All proceeds from the evening will benefit families of first responders. You need to get your tickets today at bluefamilyfund.org.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at jococommunityradio.com.
Yeah, I can't wait for the weather to warm up and get the water warm because I'm not getting in that cold water. I've had my fair share. I'm done. It's too, oh, no. Mm-mm. I have to hit myself in the stomach.
Oh, the only reason I do it. Well, okay. This is the first year where I've been busy with diving all through wintertime. This is the first year where I've had steady work all the way through.
Right.
Normally, well, last year I couldn't really do much diving during the wintertime because I wasn't in any condition to be diving.
Right.
I guess that was the year before last now because last year was good. But anyway, this is the first year that I've ever had enough business to keep me going, keep my bills paid all the way through winter. And I'm happy to have it. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm not going to say I wish I didn't have to do it. I'm happy to do it. Diving is what I do. I finally found a job I enjoy. So I'm here to do it. I'll get in the water tomorrow morning if you need me to.
Oh, absolutely.
But the reason that I can
I would too if I had a bubble to get in that was heated.
The reason I can accept this is because I know it's not going to be that bad. Sure, 10 minutes in the water sucks, but I'll have a dry suit. My ears are covered. I have gloves. I don't like wearing them, but I have gloves. I can do it.
Right.
And because I'm happy to do a job I enjoy, I'll do it.
Does your head does your hood keep your head warm?
No.
That's a 3 mil, right?
I have a 5 mil hood that I wear with a dry suit.
Okay.
The whole point of wearing a hood for me is to keep the cold water out of my ears.
Yes.
I can deal with being cold. It sucks, but it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I can't deal with that cold water vertigo on my eardrum again.
Right.
That's a pain and misery like you've never experienced.
Oh, yeah.
You're laying on the bottom of the lake. You're flat. Mud all around you. Might be a dock post here or a dock plank there. But your brain is telling you that you're tumbling. You're rolling side by side by side by side like this across the bottom of the lake, but your hands haven't moved.
Right.
And it stays that way until you get out. Doesn't matter what you're doing. It's horrible, man.
No, I know. I went down when I did my advanced. You have to go down 60 feet.
Right.
In fresh water. And when you get down there, it could be the surface temperature could be 85. But when you get down 60 feet, it's 48.
Mm-hmm. You're wearing a wetsuit on land, sweating.
Yes. And when you get down to that depth, it's cold. And that vertigo, and it makes you almost sick when it first happens.
It's a good thing that you can throw up in a regulator. It will expel through the exhaust port.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just grabbed my other one.
Well, at that point, I mean, you have to do something.
Oh, yeah. I haven't done it yet.
What, had to throw up underwater?
Mm-hmm.
It sucks.
And I come close. Because it's the inhaling.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think I can.
Try having a coughing fit underwater. Like a piece of debris dislodges
from
your
yeah.
diaphragm in your regulator and goes into your windpipe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. You stop what you're doing, you grab onto something, and you have to cough it out. Otherwise, you'll panic.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be trying to suppress that, and your lungs will get tight, and you'll hold your breath. It's horrible. You have to cough it out.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't had a cough. I have coughed underwater.
I've had
plenty of times.
I've had a piece of sand dislodged from my regulator. Even after maintenance, cleaning it, taking care of it the way I do, I've had something dislodged from inside my regulator. Small, tiny, something like when you inhale a cracker crumb.
Oh, yeah. Or
one of those experiences.
Or a chip crumb. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, see, I haven't had that yet.
I've had whatever it was come out my nose in my mask.
No, I hadn't done that. But I have had a coughing fit where I'd start coughing, but it wasn't near that bad.
Right.
Most time, I would just go to the bottom, kind of sit there and make sure I got my wits about me and then move on. Because what else are you going to do? You're coughing something you can't see, you can't work, can't do nothing.
Just stop what you're doing.
Stop what you're doing.
Like
hold on.
Ground yourself and get it over with.
That's right.
But I also smoke like a freight train, so that could also be a contributing factor.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I haven't had that issue in the ocean. Only Blackwater. And
there's a lot of crap floating around in the Blackwater.
Oh, yeah. And yes, I'd still do get a little startled. antsy. Not
In
starved.
Blackwater?
Blackwater. Every once in a while.
How so?
Just uneasy.
I,
Every once in a while.
that's part of the fun of it for me.
What, the fear or the uneasiness?
Never knowing what you might encounter on every single dive, because every single dive is different.
Oh yeah, and Lord knows there's wildlife swimming all around you. You
Oh.
don't have a clue.
A couple of summers ago, I was recovering a girl's teeth at 3:00 in the morning at Lake Country Marina.
Teeth,
Teeth.
as
She had a
in
bridge across
oh.
the front that popped out.
Mm-hmm.
Day before graduation,
Oh,
she was not walking across that stage without those teeth.
right.
So she called me out there and she offered to double my fee if I was successful. And I stayed there for a good 4 hours. There was a lot of drama that took place on the dock that contributed to the amount of time I stayed there, but I was successful. I found them inside of a cinder block underneath a dead pine tree.
Oh, good.
It was crazy, but I did it. And while I was on that dive, I'm not even remotely kidding you, something kicked me.
Kicked you.
Something bumped into my leg. And when I tell you it had heft, I'm telling you it had heft. Like it bumped me. Wasn't a catfish. Don't think it was a turtle. Turtles don't stick around very long.
No, probably gator.
It was something large and without a fear of humans. It was
There's gators in that lake.
big. Oh, I know. I've come up underneath them before.
Have you?
Yeah, they're terrified of bubbles. I don't know what it is, but when you come up underneath an alligator and you purge your regulator, they'll walk on water to get away from you.
Oh yeah.
It's wild. But I see them all the time in Eagle Mountain.
Oh yeah.
Just not while I'm underwater. Can't see anything.
Exactly.
In most places on that lake, you can't see anything underwater.
Right.
Like Augie's and the Fort Worth Boat Club, both those places have good visibility.
Really?
Yeah, it's about 4 feet. Because it's a sandy, rocky bottom.
Oh yeah.
Anything with silt drops to zero before you even get to the bottom.
Yeah, 6 inches underwater. All you can see is instead of a black blur, you see a light blur.
Green.
Green.
But Augie's is a great dive. It's really interesting. There's all kinds of stuff down there to see.
When it gets warm, need to go out there and just play.
I want to organize a diver cleanup day where we get volunteers from all over Dallas-Fort Worth who have been to Augie's or know of Augie's, like the place, or even just to do all the various marinas, lake cleanup through the Save Eagle Mountain Lake Foundation. I want to have as many divers as I can get to come out and just do a trash cleanup, like an environmental, help us out with the lake, do something good for the environment.
And what you find, you get to keep.
Right. Finders keepers. If it's not returnable, if it's got like a cell phone case with a driver's license in it, obviously we're going to try and get that stuff back to you.
Yeah. Or a wallet.
Right.
With your, yeah.
Most of the cell phones we find are going to be hard to return because they're not going to come on again. Most of them.
Yeah. But you can still get your information from them. So.
Well, Samsungs are easy because they have a memory card slot, whereas iPhones don't have a slot for a memory card. But iPhone, I'm telling you, man, got one right here. Spent 2 weeks in the water before I was able to finally go get it, and then the customer gave it to me. It still works.
Oh, yeah. Them iPhones, the technology is crazy now.
Oh, yeah.
But hell, this one gets sprinkled on it, quits working. It's an Android. I haven't graduated to the iPhone yet because I can't even turn one on.
I've got one of the latest iPhones on the market right here. Can't stand it. It's not user friendly to me. It doesn't seem.
But you're an Android guy.
Yeah, it doesn't seem intuitive to me like an Android does.
Right, because you're so used to Android.
Right.
And people with Apple or iPhones that use them most of the time,
their own little click.
They have no clue how to use an Android.
Yeah. And have you noticed that a lot of them all hang out together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's
crazy.
Kind of weird that you say that. And now I think, but yeah, that is kind of weird.
Yeah. I'm going to go hang out with my iPhone people. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah. You Android bastard.
Yeah. Well, then the Android person's like, well, you know what? I got Android friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know of any more of them.
We'll all go sit around and play on our phones together and not have conversations.
I'll have to go to the phone store and look around, see if I can find some new friends that are buying Androids.
There you go. That's all it takes, man. Start a Facebook group for it. Android only.
There you go.
Yeah.
And all the iPhone users will get on there and look and see what we're talking
They'll be
about.
spying on us. Yeah.
That's okay. I ain't mad at them.
Call them spy phone users.
Spy phone user. Oh man. It's funny because when I was service manager,
Where?
place in Cleburne called USM, they gave me an iPhone.
USM?
Mm-hmm. US Markets. It was a equipment repair facility.
You were a service manager there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, branch manager.
Branch manager. Ooh, even better.
But
Anyway,
they gave me an iPhone, and
yeah.
I just told them when the boss would fly in from Nashville, I just tell him, just call me on my phone because I can't even answer a dang thing. And he tried to show me how to use it and went through all this stuff because I can send you this and send you this app and send you this app. I don't even know how to open the app.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole nother ball game.
Oh,
entirely.
yeah.
And I mean, I get what they're doing. They're creating they are creating the market that they want to target.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, if you're going to be any good in business, that's what you have to do.
Right.
You have to create your market, identify it or create it.
Right. Well,
but it's just I'm not part of that market.
Me either.
At all.
And I'm not much of a tech guy, so. And I probably need to start paying attention to some of it because that's where everything's going now.
Everything's already been there for 25 years, man. You're just getting on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm old school on everything.
That's why you still use DDR2.
I don't know what that is.
That's the RAM we gave you earlier.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're right. I don't get the whole video game thing. And I watch YouTube a lot.
Uh-huh.
And I'll see a lot of the commercials that come on YouTube. And some of the games that people are playing nowadays are ridiculous. It looks real.
Like what? What do you mean it's ridiculous?
It looks like you're actually there.
Oh, yeah. Video cards always going to improve.
Yeah, but compared to what we had back in the arcade days, where we go to the arcade.
8-bit games.
Yeah. But there is one that I've seen that the graphics on the Atari 2600, they were better than this. And it's a newer game.
Never seen
Minecraft.
it. Haven't seen it.
Oh, it's something that the kids are playing now. And I hit on this a lot. And now the kids, you go buy them a PlayStation or an Xbox, and they have $250,000 worth of games.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play them. You know what they do now?
What?
They watch somebody else play them on YouTube.
I've heard of that too, yeah.
And they never go back to the game and do what the person on YouTube does because they just keep going to the next episode. And these kids that are playing these games on YouTube are making millions from these subscribers. Mm-hmm. Well, how do we need to make a channel of something? I can't be a video game.
How about diving?
Yeah, we can do that. But what's his name? Jake,
yeah. Dowmead.
He's done it now.
Well, he's a blue water diver. You don't see Jake in black water very often.
No.
A buddy of mine a couple of years ago suggested that I should get a GoPro camera. And I thought, well, what do I need a GoPro camera for?
Yeah, you can't see anything.
There's nothing to see. There's nothing to do.
Mm-mm.
Nobody's going to. I never would have imagined that there is as much interest in blackwater diving as there is. I never would have believed it.
Yeah. But there's only a handful of people that'll do it.
And there's even fewer that are willing to travel.
Yeah. It's not for the faint of heart, I promise you.
No, it isn't. It's a job that's constantly in a state of change. Dive time, schedules, locations can change at the drop of a hat. It's never there's no checklist for this.
No, and you don't know
if your head's not in the game, you can't you won't do it.
Stay on the boat, stay on the dock.
Yeah.
And we literally we were together out there doing some searches and recoveries. We had a master diver out there with us. Put his mask on, went down 2 feet.
I don't want to do this.
Came back up, took his gear off and said, I ain't doing it. That's nuts.
Yep.
Well,
I've had a lot of people go down with them.
Mm-hmm.
And some have done it, but others have said, get a couple feet when When the light begins to fade, so does their ambition.
Right. Hello, Kathy. She just said, "Hey, Jeffy."
Kathy? Hello,
Mhm.
Kathy.
And I don't like it. Was it Jason? Okay, Jason. I was underwater, so I wasn't up there. Jason was on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
He said he went down 12 feet. I thought it was 2. I didn't know. He must have got to the dark water, because at 2 feet you still see a green blur, light green blur.
Right.
But when you get down 10, 12 feet, that's when it gets really, really, really dark. And the only thing you can hear is your bubbles.
That's right.
And when you got Jason on the mic, he has a timer. So he's watching. Well, he don't have a timer. He just watches. Oh, Patrick's here. Hi, Patrick. Hey, Patrick. He watches a clock and he'll tell you, okay, you've been down this long. With you, it's not, because you're recovering cell phone. If you're recovering a helicopter, plane, something like that, yeah, you need to have a timer.
Heavy equipment or vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
But I have one in my heads-up display.
Yes, you do. But at the time, we didn't.
No.
So you needed the communications and
Right.
the time limit. Go down and
in a lake that where your maximum depth is probably going to be 35 feet. What? Why are you shaking your head?
because that's not the maximum depth we were at.
My maximum depth,
Oh.
Eagle Mountain Lake.
Yeah.
When you're in a lake where that might be your probably the deepest you're going to go,
Mm-hmm.
your bottom time is not necessarily something you're as concerned about,
No.
like your air level or your compass heading or your,
Right.
things like that. Bottom time, I don't want to say it's not a concern. It's a concern, but it's not at the forefront like my oxygen level is. Air
Right.
level.
And you're still at that 35 foot, you're still past that first atmosphere.
Right.
So you still have to stop.
Precautions that have to be
Mhm.
taken. Right.
The last car that we pulled that we went on in Benbrook was at 46 feet. I think 46 or 42 feet.
Right.
So, yeah. And
The last vehicle I recovered was only 12 feet deep.
oh, yeah. I seen video. Well, I'm not going to.
Have to be careful.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
I'm
say a
not
lot
going
about
to.
it.
Well, I'm saying I'm not going to give out the video, but
Right.
yeah.
The video was taken down.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They took it right down.
Well, 43 to 46 feet is what Jason said.
That's still pretty deep.
It's
I mean, it's
pretty deep. You still have to.
deep enough where it's cold and miserable. That's for sure.
Oh, yes, it is. And that car was buried in the rocks,
And dark.
gravel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can't see anything. And
when you get down there and start messing with it, it gets even worse.
yes,
You can't see this. You can't see your hand in front of
because
your
you
face.
start moving all that silt around and all
Uh-huh.
that crap. And if anybody watched any of my dive videos that I've had on there before, when I have my mask on, my helmet, not full face, I call it a helmet.
Kind of
But
is.
I have lights everywhere on this thing.
You look like you're a Michael Crichton diver from
Pretty much.
from that movie.
Exactly. And even with all the lights on, all I can see is a light green blur.
It's like driving in a blizzard with your brights on. That's all it is.
A bad blizzard where you can't see past the windshield. All you see is a white
Mhm.
blur. That's exactly right. It's just crazy.
It looks the same way on a camera too.
Mm-hmm. That's why I didn't really carry a GoPro underwater with me.
I think what people like is the moment where my hand pops into the screen, if only for a second,
Yeah, they get to
with
see
whatever,
something.
and then they hear "woohoo, all right!"
Yeah.
Me yelling through my regulator that I found whatever I was after. I think that's what people watch for. They're waiting for that moment,
Right.
and then all of a sudden the darkness begins to fade, and it turns
from black
to dark green
dark
to light
green.
green to white again.
Then
Yeah.
they see the surface.
And a phone.
Yeah.
And a very grateful customer, and sometimes their dog.
Mm-mm-mm. It's And again, it's not for the faint of heart. It's you have to be a certain kind of person to be
You
able
have
to
to
do
be a
it.
thrill seeker.
An adrenaline junkie, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, because the first time I went down, even now, when I go down slow, and I have my eyes closed for a minute and just kind of get my mind wrapped around it. Then I
Yeah.
open my eyes. Now you do it every day, so it's not a big deal to you. You're down there and you go to work and do.
I love that weightless feeling when you're sinking and you're watching the numbers tick up on your heads up display where it's getting deeper and deeper and
Oh,
deeper
yeah.
and deeper and
Darker
deeper.
and darker and
And
darker.
and then all of a sudden you're already in cold water, but
Yeah.
then all of a sudden freaking cold. You cross that thermocline and you're still going tick, 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 feet go away.
Oh,
And then all of a sudden your body just stops.
stops.
And you're like, oh, here I am,
You're on the
24
bottom.
feet deep.
Mm.
And then, the task, whatever you're doing, begins.
I couldn't even. It's that thermocline in cold water that you hit being in cold water.
But it only sucks for like the first 45 seconds. And then your brain is so attuned to what you're doing because you can't see anything else.
Right.
You forget about it. You don't think about it again until you're already out of the water and you're like, you know what? That was cold for a minute.
Yeah. For a minute.
Yeah. But now it's 80 degrees outside and you're wearing hoodie and a sweater and a sock hat going, yeah, that was cold. I've had days in the summer where I've done so much diving, I still have a chill the next day. Go home and bundle up and go to bed and can't get warm.
Right. Yeah, I have too. A lot of the dry suits now, they have a built-in hood with like the underwear that they come with. The thermal. A lot of them now have the dry suit that has the hood and the built-in thermal in it.
You're not thinking of a semi-dry suit, are you?
Semi-dry suit.
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember the name of it.
Oh.
And
I'd like to get one. They have a new
have your feet changed places with you yet?
Happened yesterday.
Did it really?
Yep.
Okay. And for people that don't know what we're talking about, if you're
dry suit,
if you're diving in a dry suit, which is totally different than a wetsuit, this literally keeps you dry.
Supposed to.
Yeah, supposed to if it
Sometimes
don't leak.
they leak.
Well, if it
doesn't
the
fit
air
you correctly,
right? The air inside does not escape.
No.
So
well,
not all the way.
That's not true. You have an exhaust valve on your shoulder
Mm-hmm.
that you can open all the way, but once you get down on the bottom and you inflate to kind of give you a little bit of comfort while you're down there,
Right. Your feet tend to want to go up and your head wants to go down.
you have to be very cognizant of the fact that your feet need to stay below you.
Yes, because there's no exhaust in your boots.
Mm-mm.
So you have to make sure that, yeah.
There should be. They should put a valve on the toe.
They should. Or on the bottom.
Yeah. Well, then it would compromise your fins. You won't be able to walk.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's, they've organized a maneuver that you learn during your dry suit class and experience that forces your feet to go down below you again.
Right.
But if you wind up inverted that way, where your feet are full of air and you're headed for the surface, it's dangerous because it can take you up faster than you want to go up. Or if you're below that first atmosphere, you're not able to stop and do your safety stop. You could wind up with the bends.
Yes.
It's just generally not a good place to be at all.
And the bends is horrible.
Oh yeah, it is. It's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible experience.
Yeah, I haven't had it, but just thinking about it. I just heard stories. Because
I couldn't lift my phone with a straight arm.
Was too heavy.
My elbow. No, I had such excruciating pain in my elbows. I couldn't grip anything and I couldn't lift anything with a straight arm. It was that bad.
Really?
And it was just my elbows. It wasn't my shoulders. It wasn't my neck. It wasn't my knees. My hips.
They say it settles in your joints.
It was the worst level of sickness I've ever had, and I had it for 3 months.
3 months?
3 months.
Oof. But you did like 40 dives in 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm not sure it was the amount of dives I
did.
did.
It was something crazy.
I know what it was now.
The depth.
after using that heads-up display computer for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and getting used to the speed at which my computer says I should ascend,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't abiding by that at all. There's
Oh.
no way.
Right.
Even watching my bubbles and trying to come up slower than my bubbles, I wasn't anywhere near coming up as slowly as I should have been.
Inflate.
No, kick slowly, but still going way too fast.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when you see that light up there, it draws you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be there.
You want to get there. Yeah. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. Just go back.
But still, you're leaving your bubbles in your wake, and you can't do that. You
Right.
cannot do that.
So that's what got you.
Yep. I
didn't
believe
know.
it was.
I didn't know that. Geez.
Now I have it in my muscle memory where I know how fast to come up, but I still use that computer. I can't dive without that computer. I can't recover, search and recover.
Oh, I
without
know.
that
You tried to
computer.
use mine. You couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Well, that's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out with us. We had a great time. We will see y'all next week. We love y'all.
Bye.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County,